Punk Revolution now. Today we are going to be reviewing Protomartyr's newest album, Ultimate Success. Today. Let's talk about Protomartyr. First off, they are probably one of the most intellectual, nerdy post-punk bands around today. You can just tell in a lot of their music it's so dark and mysterious, but the riffs are very clever and the lyrics are very good lyrics, honestly, very philosophical. A lot of creativity, a lot of potential, really strong discography. I've been looking forward to this album. Probably one of the most anticipated punk albums of the year so far. So let's go ahead and get the review started. Ultimate Success today. Let's start by taking a look at the freaking album cover. So this album cover follows the same trend as the other Protomartyr album covers by being very bold and very eye-catching, kind of mysterious, like what the hell is this donkey doing? I really like all of Protomartyr's album covers. I mean, just look at the album cover of Relatives in Descent. Doesn't that immediately catch your eye and make you want to listen to it? And it's also a very serious and mysterious album cover, which also fits the music very perfectly, because their music is also very dark and serious and mysterious. Although I will admit the donkey is definitely a less serious looking than some of their other album artworks. It still is very bold and eye-catching, which is a good thing for an album artwork to have. So let's talk about the music now. I want to start by talking about the lead single to this album, Processed by the Boys, because I freaking love that song. One of my favorite songs of the year so far. When this song came out, I could immediately tell, this is going to be one of Protomartyr's best freaking songs. Because, I mean, it just has this guitar progression that is just so freaking catchy, so bright, so fun, really catchy stuff, you know. Da, da, da. Almost sounds like freaking R&B or blues or something. Really catchy, really fun, and it gets stuck in your head for the whole day, and it goes along really nicely with the freaking wonderful production, okay? Because Protomartyr's music has always been really dark and reverby and mysterious, and sometimes it's not so clear to make out what's going on. It's just like a wave of, noise. Well, in this album, you can actually hear every single instrument come out very clearly. You can hear the guitars come through, you can hear the bass come through, you can hear the drums, and you can hear the vocals. Everything just cuts through in the mix really nicely, very clear, and I think that's great. Makes it a little bit more accessible, but also super enjoyable, and it's still, fairly noisy, even if it's slightly less dark than their previous albums. Great stuff, and you know what? That dark, Protomartyr is such a dark and serious sound. Well, that is 100,000% amplified by the very dark and serious lyrics. The lyrics here are very philosophical, lots of lyrics about death, gods and the universe, and kind of just it just seems like it almost sounds like Bob Dylan having a very serious, very bleak, depressing existential crisis. And these bleak, depressing, dark lyrics really focused on death get even heavier when you find out that the lead singer of Protomartyr, his dad, actually died before the band got started up, and that has a big impact on their music and their lyrics. So yeah, that's pretty darn heavy and freaking depressing. And I will say, the lyrics do kind of hold up throughout the whole album. These lyrics are some of the best lyrics I've heard all year, and the production also is pretty darn stellar. But I'm going to be honest with you folks, in terms of the songwriting on this album, I do not feel like Protomartyr lived up to the potential here. A lot of these songs are pretty subpar. Very simple guitar riffs, just kind of repeated throughout the song over and over again, very simplistic, maybe eventually goes into a slightly noisier, ending or outro or chorus or whatever. Pretty standard and pretty predictable songwriting for this genre of noisy post-punk in 2020. And I freely feel like Protomartyr is severely held back by the fact that they only have one guitar, okay? Because having one guitar in a genre of intellectual post-punk or intellectual noise rock when you're supposed to be doing, pretty noisy, crazy, complex stuff, it really holds you back. And the guitar riffs, like I said, in Processed by the Boys, at least that riff was really catchy, but we're gonna find that same formula applied in different songs throughout this album with riffs that feel a lot more just really unremarkable post-punk riffs. And they do this one pretty clever thing. In Processed by the Boys, they brought in an alto sax, which sounds fantastic. And then throughout the other songs, they also bring in the saxophone again and clarinet. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic in the mix. Really, really goes a long way, given the fact that they're held back by only having one guitar. But the fact that they have to keep relying on that same technique over and over and over again, it's like, okay, enough with the woodwinds. We get it. We understand that you freaking, you're out of ideas here, okay? The songwriting is super, bland. And then when we're in a sea of so many noisy post-punk bands around today, we got Bombara, we got Fontaines DC, we got Idols, we got Shame, we got Ice Age. It's like, what? Do we really need Protomartyr to kind of just do the whole formula over again? No, we don't. I don't care. You know, this album has some really good moments, fantastic lyrics, fantastic production. I think a lot of people are gonna like this. If you love lyrics, you might love the fuck out of this album. If you love Protomartyr, you might love the fuck out of this album. But for me, I am just so getting tired of it, honestly. So I'm giving this a 6.8 out of 10. Some really awesome strength to it, but ultimately the songwriting was just not enough to stand out from what so many other bands are doing today. So, please don't kill me. I know a lot of you people probably really like this band and this album, but you know, wasn't for me. Sorry. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't kill me. Punk Revolution.